No cards in hand? That's okay. Fury ability, activate. Aloha cousins, Pyrus626 here, and today we have a deck profile of the battle videos that we just did of the Fury deck versus the Mono Chaos Green Fist deck here, and we have the Fury deck here to do a deck profile of. Now this deck is actually one of my favorite decks so far. I've actually really liked this deck. Of course it did lose, but that's okay because I feel like it actually can win if you do what you're supposed to do. There was a lot of things that did not go in my favor in that game. One, the table we were using, I was 5 miles back from the end. So the end of the playmat, I was like another foot behind it. So it was kind of hard to roll things and whatever. That's just me maybe complaining. I don't know. But the table was really weird. It's just weird rolling Bakugan on the table when it's like you're far back. It doesn't make sense, but when you play on the table, you'll understand. And that was about it. And yeah, that was it. Oh, and Halakor. I'll tell you why when I look over Halakor. But in this deck, of course, we were running the Pyrus Halakor Ultra with the 2 blue shields, the 100 power, and 2 damage. That is super low. Super low. You don't want that. That is bad. That is just some bad old B power and damage onto a Bakugan. But those cores kind of make up to it because you get the 2 magic shields, which are both, of course, I use 2 650s with him. So it gives him that good, basically 750 if you land on something good, and 2 damage, which is okay, which isn't too bad. Then our next one we have is the Pyrus Serpentes here, the Green Fist and the Fire Fist, 300 power, 5 damage. And of course I use the Green Fist of 100 power, and then Pyrus Darkus get plus 3 damage. And then the Fire Fist I use is 250 and then plus 3 to help at least get some damage in there as well. And then of course we have Darkus Tritonium Ultra, Magic Shield Green Fist, 500 power and 3 damage, 650 for the blue shield, and another one of the 100 Pyrus Darkus gets plus 3 damage. Now of course Darkus Tritonium is actually like one of the ones I start off with quite a bit, just because there's that special spin that you can do is when you roll them like Jet Kuso did it, and I was like, ooh, I like this, where you roll them kind of like this. You take your hand and you kind of just do that with them. I was trying to do that, and I've done it perfect every time I've practiced with them, but on that table I could just not do anything like that. See, there you go. And I got 2 cores with that, so I mean I couldn't do that in the game whatsoever. Why? I don't understand why, but I just couldn't do it. So I just said kind of just to screw that method and just roll them normally. That was that. And then of course we have Halakor here. He's like the last one I'll roll, maybe the second one, depending on when I can get his Evo is really the biggest thing, because I try to wait to be last so I can get his Evo out in turn 2, maybe turn 3, and he at least has higher B power instead of that. Now you may be noticing that his legs flopping it down. Yeah, so when I unboxed this guy, got him out of the box, and his spring right here came undone. This whole spring basically was supposed to be on this side of the leg, and it just came undone. I don't know how that happened. Haven't done anything to it. I've literally rolled him, and he was like this for the battle video. That was like it. He was like that. But yeah, it was just great. So Bakugan, please contact me. I need to get this guy fixed, because this guy does not want to pop open correctly, does not want to stay, his leg's broken. It just does not want to do anything. But going past that, let's get the Bakugan out of the way. Let's get the character cards up here. Get the cores out of the way. Boom. Let's go ahead and start for the deck. Of course, the deck is, of course, we have to have 40 cards in the deck. There's a lot of things. I mean, there's a couple proxies in here, and I'll let you know what they are. But there's a lot of interesting. There's a couple cards I do want to change out, I feel like. Because I've noticed in the battle is that B power is a major issue in this deck. Major issue. So why don't we just, of course I did with minus Cindy's in here, but get some couple cards that add extra B power into it, so we'll see. But let's go ahead and get the deck of course, we have, for our Halacore Ultra, we have Hyper Halacore Ultra for 5 energies, 1,500 B power, and 5 damage. But, Fury, if you have no cards in your hand, plus 20 damage to this. So you'll be at 25 damage. 25 damage, not including if you land on a core that gives you damage. 25 damage if you have no cards in your hand. Whoo! That's a lot of damage going in, guys. That's just a lot of damage. I'm running 3 of those because I want to see this guy a lot. I want to see him in my hand quite a bit, so I can evolve this Halacore Ultra into that, so I can get that better B power boost. And I realized he only has 4 heads now. He has 4 instead of 3. That's funny. I just realized it. Now, of course, our next one we have is Hyper Serpentine Ultra here for 2 energies, which is good. 500 B power, 7 damage. Fury, if you have no cards in your hand, plus 5 damage and plus 1,000 B power. So you're going to be at 15 and 12. 15, 12 is what you'd be if you have no cards in your hand, so which is good. And if you saw in the battle, I actually was able to do a tag of both of them, of the 12 and the 25, so that was 37. I did 37 damage, plus the 3 from Titanium made 40 damage. I did 40 damage. Well, I didn't do 40 damage. I was going to do 40 damage. That was basically a win for me if I hit that correctly. So yeah, you gotta watch out for this Fury deck. If you're not running stop cards, you need to run stop cards, especially against this deck. Because if you see a deck come across this and you're I'm be doing 40 damage and you have nothing to stop it, whew. I wish y'all luck, because this is, I don't know how you're going to make that, because that's just like scoop and done. So our next one we have is the Titan Tritonium Ultra for 4 energies, 1,000 B power, 15 damage, and when you play this, you must discard your hand. That's the only pitfall I will say to this, but it's also good at the same time. 1,000 B power, good, doubles up the B power, 15 damage, great damage. I mean, that's just like adds 12 to that for 4 energy. That's great. Of course, the discarding cards in your hand is great when you want to go use your Fury abilities. Now, of course, like I said, the Fury abilities is going to be difficult if you don't have any. If you have cards in your hand, so this is a card that helps you get cards out of your hand. Now, I only run 2 because I don't want to see this a lot. I don't want to discard my whole hand at once, because there's some cards that I want to keep playing. Like for next turn, like Jet Fuel, all those types of cards. Because I was actually had to do that once just to bring him out. I had to discard some cards that I really wanted to use, and it was just like, oh well, I had to do this so I can get the boost and stuff going through, which is okay. But those are kind of the cards you kind of have to deal with. It is what it is. I like it though. It's good. That's why I only run 2, because I don't want to see it a lot, but just see it enough for me to kind of to use it basically. Now, of course, for our next cards, we have our action cards here. We have 3 Quickfire. Now, Quickfire is actually a really interesting card. For 0 energies, make a Pyrus attack for 1 damage, and you may re-roll your Bakugan. Now, this is may re-roll, so you don't have to re-roll, which is good. But for 0 energies, you just basically have your opponent burn the top card of their deck. They literally take the top card of the deck, send it to the discard. I mean, that's really it. That's all they do for 0 energies, and if you want, you can re-roll your Bakugan. So, which works out very, very nicely. In case if you miss, you can go 0, draw, re-roll, grab the core, and you can hopefully battle them. So that's a great card to use if you're using a Pyrus deck. Good for 0 energies, a re-roll as well. Great. Then we have our next card is going to be 3 Super Fuel. Super Fuel. Boy, this is a good card. For 1 energy, you must re-roll your Bakugan. Like I said, must. There's a difference between may and must. This one says must. If you open on the reroll, the next card you play this turn costs 3 energies less to play. This is almost like a game saver. It really is. It literally can make your Hyper Halacore Ultra into a 2 energy Evo. Which, that's what you want to see for turn 3 is Super Fuel, Hyper Halacore, bring out Hyper Halacore turn 3. And there you go. It just works out really, really well. Of course, this also works for Titan Tritonium, so it makes him 1 energy. I mean, there's a bunch of different cards you can use for Super Fuel to make it 3 less, to even play cards for free. Dan goes down to 1. You could play Barakuzo for free. I mean, you could play cards for free in this deck, because the only thing that have more than 3 energies are literally Hyper Halacore Ultra and Titan Tritonium. That's it. That's the only cards that are more. And I think Pack of Darkness, but it doesn't really matter because you can play that card for free anyway. So this card is absolutely fantastic. Now, of course, our next 1 energy cost, we have Sifting Ashes. Now, this is our last 1 energy cost card. But for 1 energy, draw 2 cards, then discard 2. So this is easy, like to have. If this is the only card in your hand, you play this. Draw 2, discard the 2, so you can get your card 0 card hand for Fury. Get cards that you don't need in your hand out of the way, so that you can use the ones that you have in your hand. It just works out just to kind of help discard cards in your hand, to help you get something. 1, to get cards you need, and then 2, to just get cards out of your hand you don't need, so that you can play other things. And then, of course, our 2 energy cost cards we have is Air Zero. Now, these are the cards I have proxies of, is Air Zero here. Now, I know I would like to have 2 cards. I got 1 coming in the mail. The other one I still got to go get. But for 2 energies, reveal the top card of your deck. If it is not a flip card, you may play it for free. So it's literally a Darkus and an action card for 2 energies. You only play it once, which is fine. But 2 energies, Darkus, play a top card. You can play any of your Evos for free. You can play any action card for free. Why not? Hero cards for free. You can play a Dan for free. So you go Air Zero to Dan to another Air Zero. Who knows? You could go. Possibilities are endless. The chain you could do is just crazy what you can do with that. And of course, Air Zero is just a great card. You need to run this. If you have a Pyrus deck, run Air Zero. You need Air Zero in your deck. Then, of course, we have Might of Syndius here. This is our last 2 energy cost card. For 2 energies plus 1 damage, and then this turn the victor is decided by the highest B or damage besides B power. So it basically, instead of, so we all know that we have the our Bakugan pretty much have the low B power bonuses. So we go for the damage. The damage is basically, so 15, you're low on B power. Damage. I'm higher on B power, so that's great. I win. So this is basically what that deck is mostly do, especially against this guy right here. No cards in your hand, 25, like you're gonna get 25 damage. That's like a team attack in 1 Bakugan. It's just this is a ridiculous card. Now, of course, for our 3 energies we have is Stone Skin. For 3 energies, 200 B power, and then discard a card for sacrifice plus 800 instead. So this is going to get you some decent B power boosting going onto your Bakugan. Of course, it's for 200 B power. Or for 3 energies, so that means you could play, say, Jet Fuel to get this card for free, or Super Fuel. What is it? Super Fuel? Super Fuel. I don't know why I said Jet Fuel. Super Fuel. You could play that card, play this for free, discard a card. Their possibilities are endless with that. And of course, then I run 2 Shadow Coil. This is a card I probably will take out. I want to run Darkest Slicer in here because I feel like that's going to be a better B power boost. This only boosts damage. But if it's discarded, you play it for free. So I only use it just because I know I'm discarding cards in my deck. So I kind of like, let's just try it out. But like I said, I think I'm going to go with Darkest Slicer in this instead. Because one, I run 2 Green Fists. And if I'm going up against a Green Fist deck, I would run Darkest Slicer. I just wanted to see how it worked. And it worked okay. It wasn't all that great. I mainly put this card in my energies, or that was about it. So yeah, so that is the action cards there. Then, of course, let's go on ahead and go to our flip cards, which there's only 2 of. So the first one we have is Block Outsiders. For 3 energies, stop a non-Pyrus Bakugan. What else there's to say? It's the generic Pyrus one. Now, I could have used the Fury Termination, or whatever it's called. I thought about it. Thought about going 2 and using that as 1. I don't know. It kind of 50-50 on it. I may go switch 1 out to go for it, just so I have it. That may be just a possibility I do. I don't know yet. And then our next card we have is, of course, Pack of Darkness. This is just an OP freaking stop card. It is just OP. 4 energy, stop a non-Darkus. Sacrifice, discard a card, play for free. Discard cards in your hand, because that's what the whole deck is about, is having no cards in your hand. Wha-bam, there you go. Just fantastic there, doing it that way. So those are the flip cards. I mean, if you run anything Darkus and you do not run a Pact of Darkness in your deck, I don't know what you're doing. Of course, you may not have Pact of Darkness. I get you. It's okay. It's a little expensive right now. I pull it all mine. But if if you have Pack of Darkness, use it. Just use it. It's great. Alright, so then our next card is going to be, for our heroes, we have Barbacuzo. We have 3 Barbacuzo here for 3 energies, Fury. If you have no cards in, at the end of the turn, you could draw a card. Basically, no cards in your hand, draw a card. Now, this does not stack. So that means you cannot go from you can't have 2 Barbacuzos and draw one and then draw another one. Because Barbacuzo says, hey, you have no cards in your hand, draw one. Okay, well, I have no cards in I have a card in my hand, so I can't use the second one. That's basically what the thing is. So I run 3 of them just so I can see it a lot, so I can put it down and then use it as discard or use it as the energies, because you need cards as energies, and that kind of works out for that. So that's Barbara, and then the last one, we all know him, we all love him, Darkus. 4 energies when you open a Bakugan, reveal the top card. If it is not a flip card, you may play it for free. We all know Darkus. He is just a really good card. We had to run him just because, of course, we run 3 Super Fuels and 3 Air Zeros, so why not run another copy of this? And this can stack. Well, kind of stack. You open a Bakugan, you play the top card, well, then you open another Bakugan, you can possibly get the top card as well, so that you can get even more cards. Yeah, it's just, you can do a lot with Darkus. Darkus, I mean, if you don't run, these are the cards you need to run. Let's just put it this way. You run that, and then you run this. These are the 3 cards you need to run in any Pyrus deck. These 3 here. If you don't have those 3, that's fine. Do what you can, use what you can. But these are the 3 cards you need to run in a Pyrus deck. It just works out so much better on a Pyrus deck, making things going that much smoother. Going to use those cards, it's just better. It's just so much better. So yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to click that like button down below, and make sure you click that subscribe button and become a cousin in our family, and make sure you click that bell so you guys get notified of videos just like this one here, because we're going to be doing the Mono Chaos Ventus deck, or Ventus, why I say Ventus, Mono Chaos Green Fist deck here in the next video, so stay tuned for that one. If you guys want to see some more battle videos with this, because I feel like I want to do some more with this, because I like to do some more testing with this deck, because I think this is going to be a really good deck. If you want to see more battles, see like what decks you want me to build, let me know down in the comments below, because I've built some of those decks, and see what I can do with them, because I think I have some ideas for the Green Fist deck that I want to rebuild and make it better. So yeah, so remember, Ohana means family, and family means no one gets left behind or forgotten, and I will see y'all next time. Bye!